All right, strep throat. It sucks, but you got to deal with it. So, what's going on, Secoya Nation? Today's wellness wisdom is about strep throat. Being a parent, I know that having kiddos have challenges because it's often considered like a young person thing. We're talking about challenges with strep throat, and parents tend to get this angsty feeling like, oh, I really need to help my child. Dr. Jess recently had a participant come in, young kid, I don't remember what age, but got diagnosed with strep throat. They were talking about adenoids and tonsils. Dr. Jess did great things, helped her get like more than 65% better in very little support, and then they ended up having surgery anyway. So our hope with this video is to say, let's give you the information so you can understand the underlying stresses so that you can avoid that in the future for yourself and your family, your little ones and stuff like that, because it's really important. So, we just want to give a appreciative shout out to all the participants who share their stories with us and give us inspiration for how to help them and help them understand their issues and their stresses so they can be empowered to know that they can choose differently and not be subject to the traditional model that says all you got to do is cut it out, because cutting it out, whether it's a breast, a tonsil, an adenoid, a colon, or a prostate, or anything else in your body, doesn't remove the fact that the conflict was there first and the symptom and the tissue showed up later. So to that end, we'll break it up into a couple sections here, talking about strep bacteria going into the throat there. So from strep bacteria, it's like, I cannot develop my gifts. It's like they feel like, imagine a child who's in their theta brainwave, is super creative, super like, wow, imaginative, and they are feeling stunted or they're feeling limited in terms of their creativity. They can't create their own world based on their gifts. That can cause a challenge. Words that they can't swallow, issues that they can't express. They've had to silence themselves. They had to hold back from saying something about how they're feeling. Things get stuck in their throat. And apparently I need some water. Thank you, Anissa. Maybe my strep's getting me. Thank you so much. I'm kidding, of course. So these are some things that come up when strep comes up. Strep is on all of our body. If you don't know about the body, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but it's estimated between 30 and 50 trillion cells on our body, or that make up our body. It's like an invisible glue. We're a skin-covered petri dish, though. So 500 trillion bugs estimated. So if we're 10% human and we're 90% microorganism, can you really blame a bug for one thing? Like one bug for one problem, like strep throat, or Borrelia for Lyme, or, pick a bug that they don't like. They don't talk about Giardia for loose stools all the time, or I found a lot of diverticulitis and Crohn's disease tends to be like mold and fungus in the gut, things like that. These are all relevant to bugs. So please take a step back, and before you jump to the conclusion that this is the smoking gun, the silver bullet to kill this thing off and it's going to solve all my problems, take this into consideration, because last but not least, it's like I wish that the quote was, "I wish my father would shut up." That was a quote for the strep bacteria. So now getting into the throat. The throat is equivalent to water in German medicine. Water is equal to the mother. So when it's an issue with the bacteria, then in the throat, then it's going to be something about not being able to say what you need, not being able to swallow a circumstance as it pertains to the mother, if you will. You can't express yourself, or you have difficulty swallowing a situation. We talked about those a lot before, which is related to the throat, but it's also related to strep. So you look at your inability to create your world or express your talents and gifts, and that's hard to swallow. That's hard to accept. There's some reference to failing to be able to kiss the mother or connect with the mother. That's part of the throat as well. Because remember, again, the throat is equal to water. Water equals the mother. So think about the throat as the mother. And then the nasal passage is actually the father. So nose equals air equals father, whereas throat equals water equals mother. So this is how the forefathers in German medicine talk about these things. So that's kind of the emotional framework, emotional connection between the brain and the body that helps you understand. Just because something shows up and they do a swab and they say, oh, there's more bacteria. Bacteria are designed in your body to help repair tissue. So if you're going through a crisis, a healing crisis related to, unable to develop your talents or speak what you want to say, or, speaking of truth, your power or your reality, and it's hard to swallow the circumstances, you can see how these things tie in, and then it shows up there. And then you have the symptoms, and maybe a swollen lymph nodes and all this other crap, and then you go in and get a swab and say, oh, you got strep throat. Now we're just going to snip out your adenoids and tonsils, which are lymphoid tissues, and about not letting go. And anyway, we go down a lot of different rabbit holes here. So we just want to say we're grateful for the opportunity to bring this information to you, because this young man could have had a different outcome, and you, as parents and as consumers now can choose a different path if you so choose. So we empower you to do that. And if you're ready to take the plunge and improve your lives, not just a little bit, but a lot of it, and do a total life transformation, then we're your team. We're here because if you haven't been able to figure this out by now, we're pretty obsessed about this whole thing. And we're going to give you the understanding of what's going on and help you feel empowered and to have unlimited healing. So we love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Wellness Wisdom. All right, guys. Take care.